So yes, we're back. Good evening, and welcome along to a brand new series of The Big Show here on NVTV. Joining me this week, we'll have singer-songwriter Sean Donnelly live in the studio. We're talking food this week as well. It's Belfast Restaurant Week. You want to find out all about that. And it's also the Armagh Food and Cider Festival. More details on that coming shortly. But starting things off, a young lady who you will remember as the winner of The Voice back in 2013. She's got a brand new album coming out shortly and some tour dates on the way as well. It's Andrea Begley. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Robin.
So I can't believe it. 2013 was when you did The Voice.
I know, I can hardly believe it myself. It's 6 years, yeah. It just is absolutely flowing.
And of course, everybody loves you on The Voice. Tom Jones was a big fan. will.i.am was a big fan. You ended up winning the show. What was the whole experience like?
It was absolutely phenomenal at the time, Robin. I think sometimes it still hasn't really sank in back then what happened, but it was a great experience. I really enjoyed myself and just such a surreal time to be working closely with people like Tom Jones and Danny O'Donoghue, and I really got great experiences from it, and I've had a great time ever since.
So music was always in your blood, really, because I mean you come from a well-known singing family, don't you?
That's right, yeah, it's very much in the genes, so to speak. My aunt is of course local legend Philomena Begley, the Queen of Country, so I suppose in a way it wasn't a surprise that I took up music and enjoyed music, but I didn't ever think I'd really get to the stage of getting the opportunity to perform in The Voice and the things that I have done since then. So definitely the early grounding back at family parties and events must have paid off somewhere along the line.
So what's happening with you, Andrea, at the minute? I know you're back in the studio. When can we get to hear this album?
Well, this has been in the making for quite a while. I have released a number of singles over the past couple of years, but I haven't released any new albums. So I'm very conscious that I need to get something back out there for the audience, and I've written some new songs for this album, which it's nearly finished recording now. I'm actually going into the studio literally in the next week or two to try and finish off the last parts of it, and hopefully it'll be out before Christmas.
Oh, brilliant. And I know you've got some tour dates coming up as well.
I do indeed. I am actually going to be out touring now on the 21st of September. I'm in the Island Arts Centre in Lisburn. And then on the 4th of October, I'm in the Ardoin in Enniskillen, and on the 18th of October, I'm in the Brynavon in Cookstown. So I can't wait to get out and do a bit of live performing for audiences as well.
Now, I know you've taken on some charity work recently as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've always had a big interest in issues around disability because I have a visual impairment myself, and I've been registered blind since I was 9. So recently, I've been appointed as the chair for the Royal National Institute for Blind People in Northern Ireland. And that's a role that I'm really excited about because it gives me an opportunity to, I suppose, go out there and maybe highlight some of the barriers that still exist, which unfortunately there are quite a number for people who are blind or partially sighted. And I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into that role and hopefully raising the profile of the charity locally, because there are a lot of people out there who could really benefit from RNAB services and knowing a bit more about what support's out there for them. And I'm hoping in my role as chair I can get out there and spread the word about that.
And of course, winning The Voice as well, you must have kind of opened doors for other young people who maybe registered blind as well, who maybe thought, I can't go out there and have a singing career, I'm too scared to go onto a stage. You must have done that for them. Well,
I'd like to think in some small way I've helped to maybe raise awareness. Certainly when I was on the show, there was a lot of queries and questions around, how can I use social media and how could I interact with an audience, and I don't have good stage presence and things like that. And a lot of my time on the show really, I hope, help people to realise that just because you have a visual impairment doesn't mean there aren't things you can do. And there are loads of artists who don't have particularly great stage presence and they don't have any eyesight difficulties, you know, but people tend to dwell on that because they know the person's visually impaired, so they tend to focus on that. And the one thing I would like to hope is, with me being a bit more in the public eye and hopefully raising the profile of visual impairment, that other younger people or anyone with a visual impairment can realise their potential and know that the barriers are there, but you got to just push through them and got to make society sort of sit up and listen as well.
Great. Well, Andrea, thank you for coming on the show. It's only taken us about 5 years to finally get you here. And of course, the next date is the 21st of September, the Island Arts Centre in Lisburn, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Fabulous. So, Andrea, the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk food now, and Belfast Restaurant Week is back from the 23rd until the 29th of September. I've been eating my way around Belfast this week. Before I tell you all about that, we're joined in the studio by Gareth Neal and Julie McCullough. So Gareth, we're nearly here. We're getting ready for Restaurant Week. Tell us a bit about the concept behind Restaurant Week to start with.
Yes, so we had a very successful Belfast Restaurant Week in February earlier this year, and we got a lot of very positive feedback from the businesses across the city centre, so much so that we went out to survey and they all said, when can we do it again? And actually, September is generally a poor performing month for the restaurants, and the idea behind this is to drive footfall and new business into the restaurants. So we're delighted to kind of be launching this in the coming weeks.
One of the things I didn't realise until I was walking around Belfast the other day doing the feature for this is just how many restaurants we actually have in the city centre.
We have a huge plethora of restaurants. It's even better that the majority are independents. We don't really have too many chain restaurants, so it's really kind of fantastic to see so many entrepreneurial individuals in the kind of food and beverage and hospitality sector in the city.
So Julie, there's something like 40 restaurants taking part in Restaurant Week this time round, isn't there?
Yeah, so we were up to 45 now, so there's everything from pure vegetarian to Italian to Asian, everything. So yeah, there's no excuse not to eat out.
So the thing I suppose people want to know is there going to be great deals on?
Restaurant Week for us is about, trying something new, so it's to have a set price across the city centre, so if you're eating out in a restaurant that's taking part, it's £15 for 2 courses, Monday to Thursday, 5 till 7. We've quite a few restaurants doing £10 lunch deals, Monday to Friday, 12 till 2, and then at the weekend we're doing the big Belfast brunch. So brunch has become so big in Northern Ireland, it's finally taken off here. It seemed to take a while, but people would go locally, near where they live, and we want people to come into the city centre because there's a great offer in here that you can't get in the outskirts. So it's just to drive people in and then experience the city centre. So we've got that, and then we've also got a producers market event on at the weekend. So it's on Saturday the 20th and Sunday the 29th from 10 till 4 both days. So we have food producers from across Northern Ireland are going to be there showcasing, and then we also have 6 restaurants who are taking part in Restaurant Week are going to be doing food demos, so there'll be samples on offer for anyone coming down, and they'll be working with one of the producers to kind of show what actually goes into the meals that are made for Restaurant Week. So it should be a great weekend. There's going to be free family fun entertainment as well, so there's kind of something for everyone to come down, and live music in between the demos and stuff too, so fingers crossed for some good weather as well.
So as well as just the restaurants, it's important to highlight local produce too, isn't it?
Yeah, so Belfast Restaurant Week is part of Taste the Island, which is island-wide initiative that Tourism Ireland, Fáilte Ireland and Tourism NI are running, so it's running from September to November, and we've partnered with them for the weekend event for Taste the City. So the kind of idea behind it is the produce that goes in from across Northern Ireland into making the dishes in the city centre. But yeah, local produce is so big in Northern Ireland. There's so many, new entrepreneurs and stuff have, created some great produce that is becoming worldwide known now as well, which is great to see. So we're keen to celebrate that, as well as obviously city centre restaurants.
And I suppose it would be great as well when people are out and about trying different things. It'd be great to hear their thoughts and comments on the restaurants too, wouldn't it?
Of course. We're really keen to kind of push the social media feed on Instagram and Twitter, and again, I think we've had a great drive in the success of the last Restaurant Week in February, and we really want to build upon that, and because we are a fantastic food destination, from St George's Market to all the tasting tours right through to the food and drinks guys in the city.
So Gareth and Julie, thank you for joining us. Now, as I said, I've been eating my way across Belfast over the last week. Here's what happened. We're going to start off with a visit to Two Taps in Belfast. Tell us about the history of the restaurant then. It's a family-run business, and it's actually been here for quite some time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I believe we've been here for 16 years now. Our mother and stepfather, Sydney and Brenda, they opened it up together back some 16 years ago. They loved the idea of tapas and wine and some small plates. So yeah, nothing. Belfast didn't have anything like it at the time.
So what's the most popular dishes then on the menu at the moment?
We have our classics. So we have our chorizo al vino, which is our chorizo and red wine, our gambas, prawns, your typical pil, chili and garlic, our Moroccan lamb tagine, our paellas. We're doing a sort of catch of the day. It's a sort of season, your fish of the day as such, and it seems to have taken off quite well. Using sea bass, sea bream, salmons, patatas bravas. We've got our empanada veggies, or beef empanadas, which is your typical Spanish dishes as well. There's quite a lot there, Victoria, isn't there?
Our vegan menu as well. So we reached out to that as well quite recently.
Yeah, that's right.
Gluten free. We try to range to everyone, cater to every need. Any form of anyone that comes through the door, we try to please everyone, really.
Now we're looking forward to Belfast Restaurant Week coming up. Is Restaurant Week something good for the city?
Definitely. I think it is very important for the city, especially to do everyone to get involved and do some form of a deal to get you through the door. Also, it's new faces that come into us as well, which we love, of course. And I quite like the variety of everyone getting involved too.
So what kind of deals have you got on then for Restaurant Week?
Within the £15 offer, we are doing 3 tapas, any tapas on the menu, and a glass of wine, sangria, or a soft drink, for people that aren't drinking alcohol, for £15. So, we believe that it's a very, very well priced offer, and we'll hopefully get some new faces through the restaurant. And obviously we've got our lovely sirloin steaks, our seafood tagliatelles, our pasta arrabbiatas, our grilled flatbreads, and our scampi and chips, and different specials like that. So there is a bit of everything there to suit everybody. People that maybe don't understand or want tapas as well. So yeah, it'll be a busy week, I would say. Looking forward to it. Bring it on.
So Cormac, for people who don't know, there's been a lot of big changes here in 10 Square. Changes for the better, isn't that right?
Absolutely. A couple of years ago, we were a 22-room hotel with just the old original 10 Square hotel, 2 floors of rooms above us. We're now 131 rooms. We've also extended our restaurant capacity here.
So what kind of things can people expect from the menu in the restaurants here?
Well, in the restaurant here, we've kept our menu very wide-ranging. We're fairly generalist, if I'm honest, but we do specialise in steaks. So we're a steakhouse menu.
Looking at the menu, there's some Belfast touches to it as well. I see the Samson and Goliath kind of jump out straight away.
Yeah, so at 10 Square, we've actually made an effort to really celebrate Belfast in many aspects of the building through design features, right down to the makeup of our wallpapers made from flax. The building we're in here was an old linen warehouse originally, so anytime we can celebrate some aspect of what it means to be good about Belfast, then we're happy to do so.
We're finding more people are turning vegetarian, and there's more dietary requirements these days, gluten-free food, stuff like that, vegan food. Can you cater for that as well?
Absolutely. There was a statistic I read where the likelihood of groups of people to book based on how well the person with a dietary requirement in the group will be looked after is really quite a big thing. So to not look after those people is just, it's a bit stone agey, if you know what I'm saying.
So what other promotions can we look forward to here in the hotel?
At Jospers here, we currently have 3 promotions on the go. We have clocking off, that's Monday to Friday from 4 to 6. And that's a great, again, quick menu for people just finishing up in work, or maybe just finished a bit of shopping and they want to grab a quick bite. And that's 2 courses for £16, which is fantastic value. Kids eat free on a Sunday, which we've only introduced relatively recently, but is really starting to grab some traction. Steak Thursdays are a really, really good evening to come down. Normally some music playing in the Doffer next door as well, so you can tie it up as a whole evening sort of package if you want to. What we've done is our head chef Mark has curated a little best hits type menu off our quite large menu. So we've cut it down quite a bit, but selected some of our most popular dishes, and we're doing that at 2 courses for £15 from the Monday the 23rd until the Thursday the 26th of September.
Okay, so for people who've never been here, tell us the kind of main idea behind the restaurant.
So, Edo Restaurant is the brainchild of Johnny Elliott here, who is the chef and proprietor at Edo Belfast. He's taken what the Spanish love and the Spanish style, the relaxed style of eating, and brought it back here to Northern Ireland.
So you've got your fish dishes, you've got your meat dishes. What about catering for vegetarians?
We're certainly up there when it comes to vegetarian and vegans, and we're constantly looking to cater towards those dietary requirements. We have an extensive vegetarian and vegan menu as well.
Now we have Belfast Restaurant Week coming up very, very soon. You guys are getting involved. It looks like a great event every year.
It is. It certainly is a great event every year for both customers and businesses alike. It was a great initiative. We have opted to go for, from Tuesday to Thursday, we've opted to go for 5 tapas plates for £20. Now, the reason being is, obviously we're a tapas restaurant, we tend not to do things in the starter main course way, and we tend to be very free-flowing. To try and stay true to that, we've tried to offer 5 tapas plates for £20. It certainly is good value for money. The tapas plates that we're putting out is a very high standard, but it's a little introduction as to what we do. And I think even the restaurant week as a whole, it's a great opportunity for people to get out on a Tuesday or Wednesday night or Thursday night when they don't usually leave the house, to go down and have that option of cheaper food, and you don't have to cook in the house, and it can be equally as affordable, and that's equally as good for businesses who tend to be quieter at the start of the week. So it definitely has an impact.
So Niall, the first thing you notice when you come into this restaurant is you're right in the middle of the city centre, so it must be a great location for you.
I mean, it's a street that's had its difficulties. It's a wee bit off the track, but yeah, it's a good spot. It's a good street. It's got a good vibe.
And of course, we're just metres away from where the Primark fire happened as well. Has that had a lot of impact on the business over the last year or so?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough time. I think in the end, I'm probably one of the few people who can say it done me a bit of a favour, because it's, Belfast people came out to support the local businesses, and that helped us to spread the word that we've got a good product, so give us a bit of traction.
So for people who haven't been here, tell us the kind of main concept behind the restaurant.
So it's Asian food. There's no meat, so it's plant-based, vegetarian, and it takes inspiration from a range of areas over Southeast Asia.
So how will you guys be celebrating Belfast Restaurant Week? What kind of deals and offers are you going to have on?
Yeah, so we've got a range of dishes. For example, we have our KFB, Korean fried broccoli. We've also got its cousin, the Jumon fried cauliflower. So, I think I should say that if you are somebody who is a bit apprehensive of coming to a purely vegetarian restaurant, you should definitely come and check us out, because we have a very high satisfaction rate. So it's definitely worth checking out if you want to try something different, and if you want to get in line with probably the biggest eating wave that's going on right now, plant-based, then come and check us out.
I see here as well you have these various sharing plates as well for £9.
Yeah, that's right. So the menu's broken down into a range of sections. We've got the main courses, the rice dishes, the noodle dishes. We've got our kimchi dishes, and then we've got sharing plates. So we encourage people to try and get as much as possible, because there's such a range of flavours. That if you get some dishes to share, then you get the full experience. People can be a bit apprehensive if they don't like spice. Now, yes, to be fair, there's a lot of spice in most of our dishes, but if you don't like it, we've got sweet dishes as well. So there's something for everybody, for sure.
So the first thing you notice when you come in here is the fabulous views of Belfast.
Yeah, we're blessed with a wonderful location. Makes a big difference to most of the kitchens I've worked in, having a nice view across the pass.
So for people who haven't been here, tell us a bit about the restaurant then.
The restaurant is part of the AC Marriott Hotel in City Keys. So it's a Jean-Christophe Novelli restaurant. We do Mediterranean cuisine, using as much local Northern Irish produce as we can.
Talk us through the menu then. What kind of things can you expect from the menu?
The menu is quite broad. We have a lot of Jean-Christophe's classic dishes, dishes that he's been doing in his restaurants for a long time, such as his mother's recipe for French onion soup, and then a couple of award-winning desserts we have on the menu. And one of the most popular probably being his tarte tatin recipe. So we have, and those will always be on the menu, and then we try and we change the rest of the dishes with the seasons.
So what kind of things would you guys be doing then for Restaurant Week?
We are running our prefix menu as our menu for Restaurant Week. Our prefix menu is a broad representation of what we do on the a la carte menu. I like to try and maybe entice people a little bit with the prefix. If they want to come in for something a little bit less expensive, and we can wow them with what we do for our prefix menu, and then hopefully tempt them to come back for the a la carte menu.
So on our travels around Belfast today, we've had various foods in the restaurant. I think it's about time we had some dessert now, and I'm hearing great things about this Jack-in-the-Box dessert.
Yeah, well, our Jack in the Box dessert is an award-winning creation of Jean Christophe's. So basically, you have a box made from an almond caramel that we fill with a chocolate mousse, and then there's some sugar work and bits and bobs to really make it stand out. So I'll get our pastry chef Natasha to knock one up for you. You can have a wee try.
I've just dropped in to see you all, and I'll only stay a while. And I want to see how you're getting on. I want to see you smile. Oh, I'm happy to be back again, just to greet you, great and small. Your hearts are like your mountains in your homes of Donegal. And I love to see the happy faces smiling at the door, and the kettle that's bubbling on the crook as I step up your floor. And soon the teapot is filling up, sure my cup is far from small. There's no place else on earth just like the homes of Donegal. And I love to sit along with you and while away the night with tales of yore and fairy lore beside your fireside bright. And then to see prepared for me a shakedown by the wall. There's repose for the weary wanderer in your homes of Donegal. But the time has come now and I must go. I'll bid you all adieu, for the open highway will call me to do the things that I do. And when I'm tramping far away, sure I'll hear your voices call. And please God, I will return someday to your homes of Donegal. And please God, I will return someday to your homes of Donegal.
Fabulous song, that's called The Homes of Donegal, from Sean Donnelly, who now joins me in the studio. Sean, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. Lovely to be here.
Thank you for joining us. I want to start by talking about the 24th of September. It's going to be a big night here in Belfast at the Grand Opera House to remember our good friend, the broadcasting legend, Jerry Anderson. So you knew Jerry very well over the years.
I did actually. I came to, I'm delighted to say I came to know Jerry extremely well. And we done a show together. We worked together for about 4 years, Robin, you know. And it was it was a laughing minute, as you can imagine.
So how did all that come about? I believe it was one of Jerry's things where he just kind of turned up and asked you to do it, didn't he?
I couldn't believe it. He had been using the song The Homes of Donegal for some years on his radio show. And I had never really met the man, you know. And it turned out that he came to our house one Sunday morning and I knocked the door, I opened the door, here wasn't it Jerry Anderson standing on the doorstep. And he said, well, are you going to invite me in or what? You know, and I said, well, if you wipe your feet, maybe. You know. So that was the start of it, you know, it was that sort of rapport. And he said that he had an idea for a show, which eventually ended up called Tall Tales and Short Songs. And based around Jerry's own experiences in show business and his days in the rock bands and that sort of thing. And I had a wee bit of trepidation about it at the start, and I says, you know, Jerry, I know nothing about show bands, I know nothing about rock bands. He says, you're eminently qualified. Absolutely, he says. I couldn't be better. He says, I always wanted to work with somebody that knew nothing about nothing.
So I was lucky enough to see some of those shows over the years as well. It's weird when you describe it to somebody because basically nothing really happened, did it?
No. It was, as Jerry described it himself, he says it was a show about nothing performed by two people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was, because we had no script, we had no guidelines, we just used to wander out and sit down in front of the people and look at them, you know, and then after that, whatever happened, happened.
The airwaves haven't been the same without him, have they?
No, it was that madcap nonsense that people began to appreciate, you know, and people would always come up and say to you, you know, and he didn't, you know, I remember on one occasion, it was about halfway through our tenure of doing the shows, and I had gone in to take part in a show. He used to ring me and says, come on and sing a few songs. And I used to be delighted to go in because, I mean, where are you going to get that sort of an audience?
Yes.
All over, you know. And I remember we were in the green room before the show started and he said to me, oh, by the way, Sean, there's something I have to mention to you. He says, no talk on air about this show that you and I are doing. Because he says, you know, I wouldn't be supposed to be doing extracurricular work like that. You know, I says, that's fine, Jerry, no problem. And went on to talk about something else. And as we went into the studio, he tapped me on the shoulder. Remember, Sean, no talk about that. I says, that's grand. So we didn't sit down and played a record and then said, oh, I've Sean Donnelly here. How are you, Sean? Oh, Jerry, how are you? Very nice to be here. And sat back in the chair, you know, and he says, well, tell me this, Sean, what do you think of this thing that you and me are doing around the country?
So, Sean, we have to get through this night on the 24th of September at the Grand Opera House. I mean, an amazing lineup of stars on the bill, including yourself. It's going to be a night full of mixed emotions, isn't it?
It is. But remembering Jerry the way I remember him, it's nearly impossible to have it downbeat.
Yeah.
Because he never was like that. You know, he never, I can't never remember him, you know, with anything serious. It was always fun from start to finish, you know. And I think that's the way, well, obviously, you know, you, out of respect, of course, there will be people, and not least myself, but at the same time, you know, you always feel that you owe them a wee debt to.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I would approach it, you know.
So what about you, Sean? Are you still singing away these days?
Yes, indeed. I am. It's a lifelong affliction, Robin, you know. Once you're smitten with it, you go on forever. Yeah.
You're still running your little folk nights down in Newcastle,
Oh, yes, indeed. Very much so. My wife Elizabeth is an artist, and my son Sean Og built a gallery, a proper gallery for her at our own home there in Newcastle. So when I saw what we had, I hijacked it for wee folk nights and wee music nights, you know, not a commercial thing in any way, but we just invited friends and people to come along. And the first night, I think we had about 6 people, and then it got to the stage that we had to we kept a book of people and sort of worked it around to 40 and 50 people a night, and that was the most we could take, you know.
Yes, yeah.
But we had a lot of friends coming, you know, like Colin Sands, Ben and those people, and the late Eamon Friel, of course, was the songwriter, was very, very welcome. He came. We're going about 11 years now, and it's great fun, you know. So I don't have to go anymore. I can stay at home and the audience can travel.
Exactly.
And then at the end of the night, I stagger up to my bed. What could be nicer than that?
Perfect life. You got one coming up in October, haven't you?
Yes, indeed, on the 27th of October, yeah. So anybody that's listening or watching are more than welcome.
Brilliant. I might even come down myself.
Oh, lovely. That'd be great.
Well, Sean, thank you for coming in, and we look forward to seeing you at the Grand Opera House on the 24th of September.
Thank you very much, Robin. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. So here we go with a song called Sailing to Yankee Land. One more time. Here is Sean Donnelly.
All you young men, I pray draw near now. Hang your ear to the words I'm going to say. For I'm going to tell you that the people of Ireland are emigrating to America. Ah, yes indeed, they're emigrating from the land they love so dear. And any man that isn't married, well, devil a wife he'll get next year. And the night before they're due for leaving, all the neighbours in the house do throng for to take a farewell glass or otherwise to sing a song. And they dance all night till the early morning, each man cutting around the floor, till the mother she comes in, says weep and see our children to the door. Father looks all around the cabin, and he sees that he is all alone. Surely his poor heart's a break, and his salt tears would melt a stone. Hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin, this poor country they can't stand. Well, they put their foot on board of a ship and they're sailing away to Yankee Land. And the other day, as I went walking down the road I chanced to go, well, I saw a crowd to me approach and surely filled my heart with woe. For I saw the carriages and the coaches moving onwards, forwards to the train, and all the handkerchiefs were waving, bidding goodbye to Granuaile. Hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin, this poor country they can't stand. Well, they put their foot on board of a ship and they're sailing off to Yankee Land. When they reach the New York Harbor, friends will meet them with good cheer, saying how's our Ireland, how's she doing, and how's she coming on this year. She's the most distressed and woeful nation in this world that e'er was seen. Sure, all they're good for is process serving in that little Isle of Green. Ah, yes indeed, they're emigrating from the land they love so dear. And any man that isn't married, well, devil the wife he'll get next year. Hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin, this poor country they can't stand. Well, they put their foot on board of a ship, they're sailing off to Yankee land. Hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin, this poor country they can't stand. Well, they put their foot on board of a ship and they're sailing off to Yankee land.
Another great song from Sean Donnelly. Time now for our What's On guide, where we take a look and see what's happening throughout Belfast and beyond over the next week or so. And if you fancy a night out at the opera, then why not catch Die Fledermaus from Northern Ireland Opera, which is on at the Grand Opera House, featuring Johann Strauss tunes that will stay with you forever. This hilarious farce is about men taking liberties, women taking control, and the dangers of dressing up as a bat. And Die Fledermaus runs at the Grand Opera House until the 21st of September and even features May McFetridge. In 2018, Amanda St. John recorded an album at the legendary Muscle Shoals Fame Studios and followed in the footsteps of artists like Aretha Franklin, Etta James and Wilson Pickett. Since then, she's been compared to artists like Dusty Springfield and Imelda May. And you can catch Amanda St. John along with a 5-piece band and support from Megan O'Neill and Tony Villiers at the Crescent Arts Centre on Friday the 20th of September. Cloudbusting, the music of Kate Bush, comes to the Empire on the 21st of September, and if you're a big fan of Kate Bush, this is the closest thing you're going to get to the lady herself. And the show features all the hits, including Running Up That Hill, Wuthering Heights, Hounds of Love, Babushka, This Woman's Work, and many more. Willie Russell's heartwarming comedy that took the world by storm when it premiered in 1986, Shirley Valentine, now has a revival at the Lyric Theatre here in Belfast, starring Derry Girls actress Tara Lynn O'Neill. And you can catch Shirley Valentine at the Lyric right through until the 5th of October. One of Ireland's favourite artists, Mary Black, is returning to the Ulster Hall on the 20th of September alongside her all-star band, and they'll be playing favourite songs from her immense catalogue spanning over 30 years. We'll hear songs like No Frontiers, A Song for Ireland, Past the Point of Rescue, Katie, A Woman's Heart, and many more. And finally for now, if you want to catch a movie in cinemas this weekend, then the big one is the big screen adaptation of the TV hit Downton Abbey.
A royal luncheon, a parade and a dinner. I'm going to have to sit down.
I am the King's butler. We have come to Downton in advance of their Majesties.
The royal butler's terribly scary.
Stay out of our way.
I am their Majesty's chef. I want the olive oil now.
He wants a clip round here, now.
I need your help, Carson.
I'll be there in the morning, my lady.
Now, the Armagh Food and Cider Festival returns this week. We're going to find out more. John White and Peter McKeever join me in the studio. Guys, welcome. First of all, tell us about the festival. It's an award-winning festival now, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's a festival I think it's been running now for about 4 years, I think, and it just seems to get that bit bigger and better every year, and it's good to see because people want to try out their local produce. They want to see where it comes from.
Exactly.
And everybody loves good quality food now and good quality drink as well. Like, so it's a great opportunity now. Yeah.
Excellent. So, John, are you looking forward to this year's festival?
Can't wait. I've probably doing too much this year now. So the amount of great produce that we have around Armagh was voted the best destination for food, and Northern Ireland was voted a world destination for food. So a lot of that produce actually comes from Armagh, including the ciders, which is up there, you know. So we're just trying to use as many ingredients as possible, and we're doing different themed cookery schools, you know, so within the hotel. So Thursday the 19th we're actually doing a sushi class, believe it or not. We're going to be using the vinegars, cider vinegars. We're going to be using them there in the rice, the sushi rice itself. And we also have a guy called Sean Kitson, and believe it or not, he has a wasabi farm in Tondragee. And then on the Saturday, which is the 21st, we're doing a Mediterranean culinary class.
Right.
We're going to be cooking with chicken, beef, good beef from Armagh. So it's a really relaxing day, bit of crack at it, and wash down my cider, of course.
Okay, now you've got the brochure there for this year's festival.
Yes.
What other events should we be looking forward to then?
We have like floral workshops coming up. with Yolanda Campbell, like she's an award-winning florist. So she has an advanced class and a beginner's class there as well. So we'll have Yolanda Campbell. We also have Art in the Orchard there too, and that's with Deborah Malcolmson. So there's lunch provided for that as well, and lunches are always supplied by Yalador Deli. In Portadown they use local produce as well, so they do for us.
On the Sunday, there's going to be brunch as well. It's a jazz brunch, and brunch is something we're kind of getting used to here in Northern Ireland now.
Yes,
aren't
it
we?
is. It's basically all it is late breakfast. You know, so we open the doors at 11 o'clock, so people can get out of bed, and then and we're open till 1 o'clock. So we are. So we have a load of different jazz artists playing as well. It's quite easily listening to, and then we have the food, of course.
Tell us about some of the big tours you have coming up.
Yes, so we have a good tour now coming up on the Sunday, on the 22nd. So visitors can come in to get to see the orchards themselves and our fruit wall systems, our different plantation systems, the production area of it, and of course there is a tasting for the ciders, the apple juices and the apple cider vinegar as well. And they get to see our new vinegar room as well, and lunch is provided in that tour as well.
Great stuff. Well, guys, it sounds like a great festival and something that I would imagine people from all over Northern Ireland is going to come along and try out this year.
Perfect, Robin. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robin.
Well, that's all we have time for on the first episode of the new series of The Big Show. We'll see you again same time next week. See you then.